Today, yes, Nina got it right. I'm extremely nervous. But yeah, it's always a challenge. And I've learned this year that to whom much is given, much is required. So, yeah, here it goes. 369. That's the number of deaths reported of transgender diverse people in the last year. The number of deaths increased by 44 cases over the past year, and by the end of this speech, the number will unfortunately increase to 370. 167 of total deaths reported happened in Brazil, 71 in Mexico, 28 in the United States of America, and 21 in Colombia. 80% of the victims are trans women of color. 62% are sex workers. These figures can be found on transrespect.org, powered by TGEU. I read every name on the list, which took me 2 days due to the uneasiness and anxiety I experienced reading the description of these brutal killings. What led me to these figures? I wanted to know if there was any trans-masculine person's name among the dead. Of the 369 deaths, I only counted 7 persons being identified as trans-masculine, which makes up 2% of the total deaths, and all were people of color. Writing this speech was very challenging for me. As being exposed to these statistics, I was speechless for a while. Then came all the thoughts that I really could not put into words. Then when I finally put the thoughts together, I wondered if it would be appropriate to say this evening. How do I state the obvious and honor the dead at the same time? Well, I guess it's too late now. I use this opportunity not as a call out, but as a call in to the trans-masculine community to call us to aggressive and radical action. What action? The action of using vigorous campaigning in whatever ways we can to bring about political and social changes. According to this report, the ratio of trans-masculine to trans-feminine persons skilled is 1 to 42. And yet, trans women, who are oftentimes sex workers, are the main forerunners in mobilizing the trans community. Our struggles may intersect, but we live 2 different realities. We experience a higher level of tolerance and acceptance than that of trans women because of our access to male privilege. Yes, plenty of passing trans-masculine persons like myself do feel the effects of this male privilege, especially white trans-masculine persons. Like it or not, we are reaping the benefits of patriarchy. What we need to focus on is, male privilege, which is the problem. The patriarchy is being unfair, so it's the patriarchy that we need to attack. Again, to whom much is given, much is required. We must be accountable to how we hold our privilege with integrity. But male privilege can also be a part of the solution and can be used as leverage to mobilize the community. There is no one way to do this, and this may mean even getting out of our comfort zones. We take up space. We are taken more seriously and are rarely interrupted when we speak. Use this to start conversations on issues that does not affect you directly. Recognize the unfair treatment. Call it out. We are allowed to take up space and lots of it. Use this by volunteering our skills or or expertise and talents in spaces that would aid in the positive growth of the community. Attend events organized for and by the community. These events may not necessarily cater to us specifically, but this can make us more aware of the intersectionalities within the community, and we can better acknowledge and ground the differences among us and actively address them. In whatever way you move into action, do so consciously and intentionally. We have many challenges within the transmasculine community here in the Netherlands. One main challenge is division among us, which is also influenced by ethnicity. It pains me deeply to acknowledge this. Earlier this year, I joined a Facebook group for transmasculine non-binary persons, Dutch people. It was also around the time I got the green light for top surgery. I had 2 consults meeting with 2 different surgeons, and I needed to make a decision which surgeon would be best to do the surgery. I made a post on Facebook. I made a post in this Facebook group asking for feedback on these surgeons. This post was written in English. I got the feedback I was looking for, but I was not expecting what I'm about to say next. I was told by an administrator in the group that this space was not appropriate for me because I did not speak Dutch and I would be deleted. I was mortified. Some members of the group spoke up against this, and as a result, I am still a member of this group, but I've never been active in this group since. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to a friend, and he asked me if I heard about a trans man that died. I was not aware of this. They also made reference to the knowledge of the dead via this same group. His name was Michael Nijhoff, and he was very active in this group. Michael committed suicide on September 4th, 2018. I have never met Michael, and I was never given the chance to, as I was pushed away from one of the avenues that could have made this possible. The chances of a transgender person committing suicide is higher than any member of the LGBT community. Many of us suffer in silence and wear a mask very well. We need to create a brotherhood among ourselves that fosters support and inclusivity. We need to create a brotherhood that fosters a safe space for us to be vulnerable and to reach out to others if we need help if we need to. Michael was 20 years old and was studying to become a doctor. He was in his first year. I heard that he was a true people person, always trying to help people, but deep down he was suffering a lot from depression. He was bullied very much in school. He was still pre every medical transition step when he died. At his funeral, there was a huge pride flag on his casket. He specifically asked for that. There were many flowers, pictures, letters, notes, and stuffed animals. There was a screen showing pictures of him. There was approximately 200 persons in attendance. They talked about Michael's life, his struggles, but also his passion. He wanted everyone to be dressed in white and blue. Everyone received a balloon with helium in all different colors and released them in the air at the same time whilst thinking of Michael. He requested this in his suicide letter. I asked the organizers at the end of this event to add Michael Nijhoff to the list of names that would be read tonight. Michael, I'm sorry that we never met. I'm sorry that we did not get a chance to meet. And I admit that I allowed my own biases to contribute to this. God knows I have a lot. But as I stand here tonight, in honor of the 370 persons, including Michael, that died, I urge you, my fellow trans-masculine siblings, to join me by making a conscious commitment in playing our part in advancing the well-being, health, happiness, comfort, security, safety, protection of our community, and to build a brotherhood that sees culture and ethnicity not as something to divide us, but what should make us stronger.